The Addams Family, Digital Darkness, Halloween 2025. The Addams Family Mansion, a magnificent anachronism of crumbling Gothic architecture, loomed under a sky the color of a bruised plum. It was October 31, 2025, and the air buzzed, not just with the electricity from Uncle Fester's latest experiment, but with the frantic digital energy of a world obsessed with content. Inside, the Addams were preparing for their grandest Halloween yet. It wasn't enough to simply host. This year, they planned to engage with the modern world, on their own terms. The morning's macabre meeting. In the grand, shadowy drawing room, the family gathered. Gomez, impeccably suited, paced with the frantic energy of a man deeply in love with the upcoming chaos. "My darling Morticia," he exclaimed, kissing her hand with fervent passion. "The city's Halloween Haunt Challenge is upon us. They want the most viral, most terrifying online experience, judged by public engagement. Can you imagine a finer canvas for our talents?" Morticia, elegant in her black gown, gently plucked the petals from a poisonous nightshade. "Indeed, mon cher. To expose their flimsy fears to genuine darkness, it's almost romantic." Wednesday, seated silently, sharpened a tiny hatchet. "Their challenges are childish. Their engagement is superficial. We shall provide a narrative so visceral, so undeniable, it will break through their digital apathy." Pugsley, bouncing a homemade explosive that fizzled ominously, chimed in. "And I get to set off the big one? The one that rattles the whole neighborhood?" "Only if it enhances the verisimilitude of the broadcast, my little fiend," Gomez chuckled, ruffling Pugsley's hair. Uncle Fester, radiating a dim, erratic light, held up a complex array of wires and capacitors. "I've rigged the mansion's entire electrical grid to respond to fear. The more terrified they are, the better the signal." He cackled, sending a shower of sparks across the room. Grandmama, hunched over a steaming cauldron, stirred a concoction that smelled faintly of despair and old socks. "And my elixirs will ensure they see things they cannot unsee. Just a little something for their augmented reality experience." Lurch, standing tall and silent, merely groaned, which the family understood as full agreement. The live-streamed labyrinth. The Halloween Haunt Challenge was a city-sponsored event designed to drive tourism. This year, it involved select influencers entering supposedly haunted locations, live-streaming their experiences for an online audience. The Addams Mansion was the grand finale. As dusk fell, 3 of the city's most popular ghost hunters, known more for their dramatic reactions than actual bravery, arrived. They had GoPros strapped to their chests, drones hovering, and an audience of millions watching their every shaky breath. "All right, Ghoul Gang," one influencer, Blaze Phantom, whispered to his camera, feigning courage. "We're at the infamous Addams estate. Rumors say it's genuinely cursed, but we're here to expose the real spooks." Lurch opened the massive front door with a creak that sounded like a coffin lid. "Welcome," he boomed, causing Blaze Phantom to jump and let out a very uncourageous squeak. The unfiltered experience. Inside, the carefully curated, digital experience began to unravel. They found Wednesday in the conservatory, meticulously pruning a Venus flytrap that was far larger than any known species. Its flower snapped shut on a rather plump rat with an audible squish. "You are intruding on a sacred space," Wednesday said, her voice perfectly calm. "The plant is sensitive to insincerity and excessive streaming." Blaze Phantom gulped, his camera briefly glitching. Next, they stumbled into the kitchen, where Pugsley was demonstrating his edible experiments. A steaming platter of what looked suspiciously like internal organs was offered. "Try some of Grandmama's brain stew," Pugsley offered gleefully. "It's still warm." One of the influencers, a vegan lifestyle guru, nearly fainted, her mic picking up a faint gagging sound. As they explored deeper, Uncle Fester popped out from behind a suit of armor, glowing with a frenetic energy that short-circuited their portable lights. The entire mansion's power flickered erratically, casting monstrous shadows. "Anyone need a charge?" Fester boomed, reaching out a sparking hand. "I can jumpstart anything." The influencers shrieked, their live feeds momentarily dropping as the electromagnetic interference scrambled their signals. The grand finale, a truly viral moment. They eventually found themselves in the ballroom, where Gomez and Morticia were waltzing gracefully amidst a swirling fog. Ethereal, chilling music played, but the source was unseen. "Welcome, brave souls," Morticia purred, extending a hand to Blaze Phantom. "Care to join our dance? Our partners are dying to meet you." Suddenly, the fog parted to reveal other dancers, gaunt, pale figures with vacant eyes, moving with an unnatural grace. Their faces were not masks. Blaze Phantom tried to raise his drone, but it spiraled crazily before crashing into a candelabra. His co-host, attempting to flee, tripped over a loose floorboard and fell through a hidden trapdoor, her terrified scream abruptly cut short. Just then, Grandmama appeared, holding a tray of glowing, smoking beverages. "A toast," she cackled. "To genuine fear. Drink up, darling. It really expands your perception of reality." Blaze Phantom, utterly undone, stared into his camera, his face a mask of genuine, unadulterated terror, a look no filter could replicate. Guys, this isn't fake, this isn't content, they're real." And then, with a thunderous boom from Pugsley's distant explosive, the mansion plunged into complete, utter darkness. The last thing transmitted from Blaze Phantom's feed was a choked sob and the sound of something scraping slowly across the floor towards him. The next morning, the city's Halloween Haunt Challenge feed showed a record-breaking number of views, but almost no comments. Just a deafening silence. The influencers were eventually found, babbling incoherently about living shadows and dancing corpses, their cameras showing only static or blurry, unidentifiable shapes. The Addams family, meanwhile, gathered for a delightful breakfast, discussing the merits of authentic terror over digital fabrication. "A truly splendid Halloween," Cara Mia, Gomez sighed contentedly. "They may have come for content, but they left with an experience." Morticia smiled, delicately slicing a piece of toast shaped like a tombstone. "Indeed. And no one can, like, or share, a memory quite like that."